Hey, do you wanna receive like this? Good. I'll be teaching you how to receive like that. But first, before we start doing some techie shit, I'll be teaching you how receiving works in Binsu. Alright, let's get to the video. We're gonna talk about forms of receive in this game. We have side receiving and front receive. Now, let's talk about how big is this front rack and side rack. So at this video, I'm showcasing you how huge is side racking and front racking. Now that Hiko has buffed the front rack hitbox, now it's equal with side racking as you can see the video. Now that you've seen the rack receive hitbox from front and side rack, we're gonna tell you like how this side and front receive works. Like each of them has their own pros and cons. But first, talk about side receiving because it's unique here in Binsu. Side receiving here is your, as the name suggests, you receive but on your sides. Yeah, that's it. But not only that, side receiving is really weaker. It's a weaker version than front rack. Why? Because your side receive can either break or just like when you're digging a spike, like with side receive, sometimes the ball won't, how do you say this? It's like doesn't go where you want it to be, you know? It just goes really low or go the other way. It works with surf too when you're digging a surf. Other than front rack, no matter what, your front rack will always be dimes. Like will always be going the direction where you're looking at. No matter if the hitter is like doing some tilted shit like that, still be the same as usual. But sometimes, when I came back playing this game, I saw that receiving a surf can somewhat like, that's how to say this, like receive like breaks, you know? Like the ball doesn't go forward, it just goes on the side when they do front rack. I don't know why this happened, maybe because of float surf or anything. I haven't dig too much about this info. Most of the time I use hold base sprint option, camera, following ball, I usually have it on, and the rest is just based on your preference and how you want it to be like. And now for the power, shortcut power, I usually have Z S2, X S4, C S8. And for the rest of settings, it's just how you want it to be. You can look at mine there, you can pause and look at mine, what's my settings. For keybinds, it's just default Binsu keybinds. I don't change anything at all. The surf receive position is usually Libero. They usually stand here, like here and here. Middle, they usually stand here, a bit to the front. Oppo here. Outside 1, outside 2, usually stand here. This is where you usually cover, behind middle and this spot too. Right, most of the time when you receive a serve, do 4 power. Mostly do 4 power is the normal one, because if you do 5, sometimes the ball will land here, right? And if you do 5 from here, you do 5, the ball's gonna go like over the net. That's something you don't want. So most of the time when your normal serve position is like here, and when you're about to receive, make sure you sprint first, okay? Sprint before they hit the ball, so you can move faster, like get to the position you want to be. And just, let's say they hit here, just like do 4 power. For each power, it clearly depends on where you are. If you're in middle, just like from here, just do 4 power. Just do 4 power. That's gonna be on the net. If you're an outside, just do here. But since I'm not covering each post and how to rack, I'm just gonna cover how Libero racks it. If it's a float surf, you wanna be careful to not spam it, because if you spam your front rack too much, the ball will just phases through your hitbox. That's something you don't want to do. So when, let's say they do a float serve and you missed your first rack, just wait till the ball gets close to you, then you rack, okay? While you move. Okay. Most of the time people just do a small most of the time people will just do a float surf at here, or maybe a 10 power float surf where it just lands here. Most of the time I see people, they miss their racks often because of that. So keep in mind that when you're about to serve receive, just be patient. Okay, and just look how the enemy, the opponent serve. If they delay too much, let's say they hit at their chest level or their waist level, it's gonna be a float serve, obviously. It really depends on each player you're gonna fight, so that's it, to be honest. Like, if you're about to serve receive, just stay calm and be patient, and that's it. Now let's talk about where do I usually cover, or as me as Libero, where do I usually cover, or how do I wreck stuff like that. So how I cover is that I don't go longs that often, or mostly I just don't go longs. Okay, usually I cover this from this block, then this, like this. This is where I usually cover, like the shorts. Why I prefer shorts? Because now that getting tooled is really easy and wiped, you can cover that, let's say middle blocks here, right? And there's a gap here, and the outside hit like a cut there. Usually you can cover that if you stand here and side rack it or front rack. But I'm gonna tell you why side rack is more important, like more better than front rack. I'll tell you why later, but now I just gotta talk about how I usually cover. So how we cover as a Libero is fairly depends on where my blockers are going to block or where the hitter is going to hit. So let's say your team serve, right? They wreck, blah blah blah, setter. Now when setter about to set, I usually look on each post, each people. Like my eyes just go left and right and see who's jumping, who's not jumping. Most of the time, if all of them are jumping, then I would assume it's gonna be a quick, and that I just look at the setter, where the setter setting. Cause if it's not a good rack, it's going to be obvious where the setter is going to set, cause it's not like in straight line like how they set. Yeah, they have to angle for like a bit to the right, bit to the left, so it's kind of obvious to do, to like receive. But let's say if it's a dimes rack, what I usually do is I just look, and whoever is like, there's a bunch of people in it. Let's say there are a bunch of people on white and outside. I usually just be ready on that rather than oppo. Most of the time, all this is just reaction based. Reaction and where your block, like your middle's blocking. If they do a glide block, just cover it their left side or right side. Clearly depends, honestly. Like when the setter does a mid wide stuff like that, you have to look who's actually getting close to the ball and shit like that, and side rack. It's all about being calm and be ready about where the spiker hits, because you have about a half second, I think, to react where the spiker hits, unless there's some kind of degen. Just do this, like just mini jump and just hit it. Create all of this just reaction based, and read spots, like look what's open, blah blah blah, like that. And not to mention that now that Tico has buff blocking, not buff but like sort of nerfing, waterfall are more common now, and tooling and wiping. Even though you're not trying to wipe or tool and waterfall, the ball will still just waterfall. I don't know why that happens. So that's why staying short, like stay around here, it's like your go-to spot. You can just dive and get the ball. Most of the time when you're diving, I forgot to talk about diving. Diving, use sprint, okay? Use sprint. Cause without sprint, you're gonna be like slow like this. It's not longer. But with sprint, you can dive faster and longer. Not longer, but like, it's like, how do I say this? It's faster, that's it. All I can say is faster. So you can cover waterfalls like that. But most of the time when you're diving, sometimes the waterfall, like you won't get the waterfall ball, because they would just hit the like that, and when you dive, the ball's still in the air. So what I usually do here is that instead of just diving, what I do here is I just dive and then rack like this. Dive and rack like that. Like this. Like that. Or just look away. Let's say here, I just dive and do this. So most of the time when you're diving a waterfall, make sure you dive first, okay? You dive first then wreck. If you dive and wreck like this, the ball's gonna go over or just hit the net. So that's why it's more important to dive first then wreck. Okay, that's all you need to do. That's for covering a waterfall. Now that's done. Let's talk about how do you cover a. Let's say your blocker gets stole, right? Or I don't know the terms why I patrol, but let's say the ball just your blockers block and the ball just goes from the back, right? What I mostly see people do is that they just instantly dive, like panic dive, you know, like the ball is just still in there and you're just diving like this, like for what? There's no reason for you to do that. Because when you're covering a a tool block or a white block, it's just be patient. Look where the ball will land or go, and just adjust your power based on how far it is. If it's here, let's say it's gonna land here, just do 4 power like that, blah blah blah. And let's say if the ball's like goes that way, I just go this to 6 power, blah blah blah. Just it's all about being patient, okay? When you're covering a block, just be patient about it. Just walk back, adjust your power. Most of the time, the blocks won't be like the wipe tool won't be just go that way. It doesn't go that way. It might go faster, might go down or faster. So, as a libero, just be ready. What's coming? Maybe the ball will go fast, blah blah blah, blah like that. And then now for next, I'll talk about why I prefer side racks more rather than front racks. If you look at most of my montage video, like this 2 video, I rarely front rack. I mostly side rack because I find that side rack is more, the hitbox is kind of funny. How do we say this? Because let's say the outside's like, let's say your team is blocking cuts, right? They're blocking cuts and the outside hits straight. Sometimes they usually hit like here, right? They'll land here. Why I prefer side rack is that here, so I don't have to use that much stamina and I can just get here and just side rack like this. It might look like I can't rack that, but it's actually possible. Let's see, I'm gonna spawn a ball here, right? I'm gonna rack it there. But if because with let's say you play around with the hitbox thingy, like if you angle yourself right, you can get the ball. Look, if you angle yourself right, because your side rack is it's almost the same as front rack. It's like the hitbox is like more forward, like it's forward too. So if you angle yourself right, you can just get the ball here. You can get the ball. It looks stupid though. From other people's perspective, it looks like you're digging a fucking air. That's why I love doing side racks more than front racks. Because you can do some insane save, like this picture, blah blah like that. I don't know. But with side rack, you can cover everything, like from behind you. If you track the ball with the right timing, you can get the ball here and here, like this. It's like you can cover shorts and semi longs like here. If you track the ball right and hit it like this, it'll do what I'm doing like now. With side rack, then move back like this. You could get the ball. Okay, this depends on how the spiker hits. Most of the time, you side rack the moment they hit the ball. Okay, side rack and just do this kind of motion I do. Or if here they're aiming at you, it's either going here, like along here. So most of the time, I just do this. I just go a bit to the left or right, depends. I mostly go left and I just do this. Just do this. Set like that. Or just stand here, just you do this. Cause since the rack height hitbox is like a little bit higher, you won't get headshot if you actually find the right position and just look right and cover. You can cover this side. You won't get headshot if you position right. So that's for the rack thingy. And what's next? And I'll give you what I usually think as a libero, like whenever I play libero, but what's on my mind is I usually think that let's see what the setter's gonna set and where the hitter's gonna hit, you know. Let's say if they fed outside too much or middle, I usually just assume the next set's gonna be Oppo. I mean, Libero, you can guess that too. Like, guess which set's gonna do, blah, 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 like that. You can assume maybe each set maybe gonna do this again, blah, 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 like that. I mean, I'm just saying a lot of shit, but like, if you assume which set they're gonna do, it's going to help you a lot. So you don't have to react everything like, blah, 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 react like that, no. With that out of the way, now let's talk about during defense state. Okay, like we're defending, right? They got the ball, they're doing most of the time just stay here. Okay, I'm gonna repeat again, but we're gonna keep doing this all over again because it's my first time again. I'll do a, say, defense state, right? You're blocking now, the team's blocking and you're receiving. Most of the time you just, when the setter's about to set, you use sprint and rec, sprint and like that, where the spiker hits, blah blah blah. But if you wanna know where the spiker going to hit, just look up, like here, look around this area, because once they jump, like from here, you can see where they're going to spike. They're gonna hit cuts, like cuts here. Let's say they're gonna hit cuts, right? Usually cuts like this, right? If you position right, you can get the ball with due to power, right? By the way, if you're covering cuts, or if you're like, if you can't see where the spiker is, you can just move here and get the ball, cover here. Most of the time, you don't have to cover like long cuts. Mostly just outside position, like outside job to cover this. Just cover like the middle, like here. You don't have to go all the way here. I mean, if you want to, you can. But most of the time, you don't have to use all that stamina just to go here. Even if it costs 2, the little bit of stamina waste, it's like important, you know. It's important if it goes to waste. Now that's all. I think that's all I can tell you about Libero, honestly. If you don't understand, like if you're still missing out, you can DM me on Discord. I'll just put on screen my Discord, or you can just ping me on Binsu Star. I'll do free coaching lessons if I'm available or not. Just DM me on Discord and I'll see if I'm available to coach you. Yeah, that's it for the video, to be honest. I'm doing this really quickly because I got work to do, you know. I'm employed. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye!